Part 55. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 542. Chapter 542, New Products. 2 more, please customize. Sudbai was alone in the room, flipping through the books that had been published by the system before. Since there were many books, he read them every day. However, I didn't read the previous glass-making books or straw sandal-making books. I just left them to the people in the workshop to read them. Yes, the Yanlong tribe has now established a straw shoe workshop and a glass workshop, and there are dedicated people to do these. Although there are not many people because it has just started, it is still progressing steadily, right? In the future, when there are more reliable people in the tribe, more people will be recruited into the workshop. Now the people in the workshop do not seek more, but rather refinement and loyalty, and they must wholeheartedly serve the Yanlong tribe. After all, those things are the foundation of the Yanlong tribe. These things cannot be known to others and can only be firmly held in the hands of the Yanlong tribe, so there are relatively few talents in the workshop. After the heavy snow and ice passes, the tribe needs to research more products to come up with them, Sudbai murmured to himself. Although the Yanlong tribe now has 2 very good things, linen and porcelain, there are still too few types after all. If some people are not short of linen or don't like porcelain, then will he never come to the Yanlong tribe again in the future? Even if the Yanlong tribe restaurant was successfully opened at that time, it would be difficult to attract people just in terms of food. Once or twice is fine, but over time, it will slowly. Others will feel a little tired of it if it is slow, let alone tribes that are far away from the Yanlong tribe. Therefore, if you want to make the Yanlong tribe prosperous for a long time and attract more people, the most important thing is we just need to develop more products. Only a dazzling array of products can attract a steady stream of people to the Yanlong tribe, and those products will also bring greater benefits to the Yanlong tribe. But what else can be developed? Under existing conditions, Sudbai was in distress. It's not that I haven't thought about this before, but because there are too many things to manage in time, I can't think of a suitable point at once. In addition, there are no people from other tribes in the tribe, so this matter has been shelved. But now is the period of heavy ice and snow, and there are many things that can't be done. Naturally, I thought of these things when I had some free time. Knock knock knock. There was a gentle knock on the door, and Yu Ying's soft voice outside also sounded. Wu, are you asleep? The fox-eared lady stood outside the door holding a pot of tea in her hands, wearing a thick coat. She was wearing animal skin pajamas and plush slippers on her feet, which looked very soft. No, come in, Sudbai said gently. Crunch. Yu Ying pushed the door open while holding the pot of tea, and said softly, Wu, I didn't disturb your rest, right? Sudbai glanced at the alarm clock on the table next to him. The time was just after 9 o'clock in the evening. He shook his head and said, it's too early, and I haven't planned to go to bed yet. That alarm clock was naturally delivered from the system's aid package. It is small and is the latest model from the Earth. It can be powered by solar energy and does not require batteries. Wu, I made you a pot of tea. Drink it before going to bed. It will be warmer this way. Yu Ying took out a cup and poured a cup out. Don't drink it late at night, otherwise you won't be able to sleep, Sudbai reminded. There are many people on the Earth who can't sleep after drinking tea, and the ice and snow are very suitable for sleeping. It would be too painful if they can't sleep after drinking tea at this time. Yes, I'll just drink some hot water. Yu Ying nodded heavily. If you want to sleep more comfortably at night, you can make some ginger tea at night and drink it to keep your body warm, Sudbai suggested. And this thing is also better for women. It will be more comfortable to drink it in dabbing xiu. Wu, what is ginger tea? Is it boiled with tea leaves and ginger? Yu Ying asked curiously. Although she knew these 2 words, she had never heard them combined together. Well, just use a little bit of tea leaves, and then cut some more ginger slices. After cooking, drinking it after a meal is very good for the body, Sudbai explained briefly. On the other side of the earth, some people often make ginger tea to drive away the cold, because ginger tea can induce sweating, relieve coughs, warm the lungs and relieve coughs, and is effective in treating influenza, typhoid, coughs, etc. So some people don't like it. People who take medicine often cook some ginger tea to keep out the cold, and it doesn't taste bad. After all, it's much better than medicine. I understand, then I will cook it tomorrow night and give some to Sister Ahua and the others, Yu Ying said immediately. Okay, if you don't understand anything, ask me, Sudbai said lightly. Wu, what are you busy with? Why are you not sleeping? Yu Ying asked curiously and saw the book on the table. I'm thinking of some new products that can bring better benefits to the Flame Dragon tribe, Sudbai said seriously. He knew that the fox-eared lady couldn't help at this time, but it's always good to have someone to talk to. After all, talking to oneself alone for a long night is a bit boring. New product? Wu, what kind of new products do you have in mind? Yu Ying asked curiously. After all, the tribe now has linen, porcelain, paper, and quills, which are all very good things. In addition to these things, there are also relatively novel things such as carriages, ice climbing piers and stone houses. Originally, the fox-eared girl, who was still a little sleepy, immediately became energetic after hearing about the new products. Because there were so many good things in front of her, she wanted to know what good things Wu Ma had come up with at this time. I don't have a clue yet, so I'm still thinking about it, Sudbai said lightly. This is not an easy task. So that's it, Wu, let's drink tea first. The tea now has a strong fragrance, and it won't be good when it gets cold. Yu Ying handed over the cup. Good. Subeguo took a sip from the teacup and turned the black mold as if he thought of something. Wu, what's wrong with you? Is this tea cold? Let me change it for you. It gets cold faster during heavy ice and snow periods, Yu Ying said nervously. When she saw the other party, she suddenly paused. No, you reminded me. It seems that our Yanlong tribe is going to have something new again. Sudbai smiled slightly. He put down the teacup in his hand, took out paper and pen and started to record it. The words of the fox-eared lady made his thoughts surge. Wu, what did I remind you? I didn't seem to say anything. Yu Ying was confused. Sudbai smiled faintly, shook his head and said, no, your one word reminded me. Yu Ying kept blinking her pink eyes and asked, which word is Wu? T. Fox-eared lady is really a bit confused, like a monk with 2 feet. She doesn't know where she reminded her. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 543. Chapter 543, Something Fragrant. 3 more, please customize. All I want to do is make perfume, and this one will definitely make everyone crazy about it, Sudbai said with a smile. He got the idea from the word fox-ear girl, and it is not difficult to make perfume. Perfume is a very popular thing on the earth, and almost all men and women use it. Moreover, the smell of perfume is also very good. It is also very particular to wear different perfumes for different occasions. Of course, in the primitive era, there was no way to be so particular, as long as the perfume was fragrant enough. Perfume. Wu, what is perfume? Does the water have a scent? Yu Ying was confused for 3 times. Fox-ear Niang felt that since the witch came to the tribe, she heard some new words every day. Sometimes the new words are easy to understand, but sometimes the new words are difficult to understand. It can be said that this perfume will be very fragrant when sprayed on the human body, and it can cover the body odor, Sudbai explained simply. Wearing perfume on the earth is purely for mood, but wearing perfume in primitive tribes is different. People here probably wear perfume to cover up the smell, while almost no one in the primitive era wears perfume. Take a shower, and there are a lot of things to do every day, so it is inevitable that you will smell. In this case, many people will definitely want it, Yu Ying said without hesitation. Not for any other reason than because she also wants it. Although she doesn't stink like others, it can make her body smell good. Who doesn't want it? Well, so thanks for reminding me. Subai smiled and touched the tip of the other person's nose. Yu Ying closed her eyes subconsciously, opened her eyes and smiled. Where can I get this perfume? The fox-eared lady is confused because she has never heard of such a thing, so she doesn't know how to get it. We don't need to get this perfume from somewhere, we can make it ourselves, Subai said with a smile. He had seen how to make homemade perfume before on Earth, and the method was not particularly difficult. In addition, they have all the materials now, so making homemade perfume is not impossible at all. Things. Really? Wu, can we really make our own perfume? Yu Ying asked in disbelief. Well, it's getting late. Go and have a rest. We'll make perfume again tomorrow. Subai patted the other party's head gently. Yu Ying also subconsciously shrugged her shoulders, squinted her eyes and smiled, saying, yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Me too, good night, Subai said gently. Although he really wanted to let the fox-eared lady stay, he felt that the other party had to be willing to do so. Good night, which Yu Ying walked out of the room with a happy face. It could be said that she skipped out. Subai smiled and shook his head. He picked up the pen in his hand and continued to record the thoughts in his mind. He wanted to use this method of making perfume. Hurry up and record it completely. In this way, after the big ice and snow passes, the perfume of Yanlong tribe will be sought after by many people again. Swish swish. The quill made a rustling sound when it hit the paper, and time began to pass slowly, and soon it was the next day. Knock knock knock. Yu Ying couldn't wait to knock on the door, and said, Wu, you can get up and have breakfast. The fox-eared lady got up very early today and even cooked it early in the morning, just to hurry up today. Make perfume. Subai also woke up early, but the weather was a bit cold, so he stayed in bed reading. He changed his clothes, opened the door and said, it seems that you are really looking forward to today. Yu Ying nodded heavily and said with a smile, yes, Wu, I almost couldn't sleep last night. It seems that I can't tell you anything in the future, otherwise you won't be able to sleep well, Subai said deliberately. Yu Ying shook her head quickly and said seriously, Wu, I will definitely sleep well in the future. Don't tell me. This is what fox-eared lady is most worried about. Sometimes Wu's stuff is so interesting. If she doesn't know about it, she will definitely be upset. I'm just kidding you, what's for breakfast today? Subai smiled heartily. As expected, it was happiest to tease the simple animal-eared girl. Today I fried 2 wild eggs for Wu and a bowl of dry noodles, Yu Ying said immediately. Dry noodles are a dish developed by Hu Niang herself. One time she accidentally spilled the soup, but because she had been busy all morning, her brain was still a little bit unclear. She put it in a bowl, the seasoning in it was added to the noodles, and by the time she realized it, it was already too late. At that time, the fox-eared lady had the idea of not wanting to waste food, so she ate the bowl of noodles without soup, but found that it was surprisingly delicious, so she started I've been making dry noodles for everyone one after another. Well, I like your dry noodles best. After Subai brushed his teeth, he walked to his seat and sat down. The fox-eared lady was a little absent-minded the whole time. She looked up at Wu while eating the noodles, and was looking forward to making the perfume. Xiao, what's wrong with you today? It looks weird. Is it because it's too cold and makes you sick? Yanhua discovered something was wrong with the other party. Yes, didn't you like eating dry noodles in the past? Why are you eating so slowly now? Shalan also looked confused. I was thinking about perfume, and Wu said that I would make perfume today. Yu Ying finally couldn't hold it in any longer. perfume, Shalan and the two said in unison. Subai finished eating the last bite of noodles, shook his head with a smile and said, Xiao is just impatient. We will make perfume later. What is perfume? Yanhua's curiosity attribute comes out immediately. Once she hears new words, she is very curious. You'll know when it's made, and you'll also follow along to create your favorite flavor, Subai said lightly. Yanhua blinked her red eyes hard, nodded her head in understanding, and then started to eat the noodles in big gulps. Good Shalan was also a little late-minded, but when she saw Xiao Yu looking so happy, she knew it was a good thing. Half an hour later, everyone finished their breakfast, and the fox-eared lady also simply cleared the table. Yu Ying's body standing straight, he asked expectantly, Wu, what do we need to make perfume? The fox-eared lady hopes that she can help right away, and really wants to see the presentation of the perfume. You go to the greenhouse and help me pick some fresh flowers. Flowers are needed to make perfume, Subai arranged. Wu, which kind of flower do you need me to pick? Yu Ying asked curiously. Pick some of all the fresh flowers, except those from crops, Subai arranged. Clear. Yu Ying happily put on her cloak and went out. Third update, please support and customize. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 544. Chapter 544, Shelf life is 1 month. For more, please customize. Yu Ying braved the heavy snow and returned to Yong'an building with a lot of flowers. The Niojiao ladies helped dust the snow off her body. She smiled and said, it's so warm inside the greenhouse, and all the flowers are blooming beautifully. The fox-eared girl's favorite place to go is inside the greenhouse, because she feels it's very warm inside. And when you go inside, you can also see the emerald green color, as well as the colors of other flowers, which cannot be seen in the white snow. So I am very happy when I go inside the wooden shed every morning. In addition to feeling the warmth, the second thing is the colorful plants. Drink a cup of hot water quickly, don't catch a cold, Subai warned. It's so cold outside now that you still have to be careful. Although there is a cure, it's still very uncomfortable when you catch a cold. It's better to avoid it if you can. I'm fine, Wu. I got the flowers back. How do I make perfume? Yu Ying asked impatiently. This time she went to the greenhouse for a very short time because she wanted to know how to make perfume quickly, so she walked very fast every time she went there, even if it was snowing outside. But fortunately, all the snow has been cleared away, and it is not an obstacle to walking, so it takes less time. Do you just use these flowers to make perfume? Yanhua asked curiously. When Fox-eared Lady left, she asked what perfume was. After getting the explanation, she became excited and wished she could go pick flowers with her. Well, just use these flowers to make perfume, and it's very simple and doesn't take much time, Subai said with a smile. He carefully thought about the books and videos he had read on Earth last night, and realized that making perfume is actually not difficult, and there are only a few steps required. Wu, do you need us to do anything? Shalan twitched her cat ears, with a look of anticipation on her face. Take these flowers and wash them, make sure they're clean, and then take the alcohol over here, Subai ordered. Yes, the three girls said in unison and began to divide their work. 10 minutes later, all the flowers were cleaned, and there were still water drops on the delicate flowers. A bottle of alcohol was also put aside. Subai took the lead and took out a handful of roses, which were also planted from a large number of flower seeds bloomed by the previous system. The packet of flower seeds bloomed by the system contained many kinds of flowers, and he did not know what kind of flowers they were. So he scattered them all and planted them. He picked half of the roses and put them all in a bowl. After all the rose petals were picked, he took out a stick and started to pick the roses. Stabbed them all to pieces. Woo, why is this step happening? These flowers are so beautiful, why do they have to be ruined? Yu Ying asked curiously. Fox-eared lady still likes roses very much, and she likes them even more since she learned about the meaning of roses. No matter the appearance of roses or the fragrance of roses, they are the same every time they go to the greenhouse. Long time. This will allow the fragrance of the rose to spread more thoroughly, making the perfume more fragrant, Subai explained. He smashed all the rose petals and put them into a small bottle. Then he unscrewed the alcohol and poured it in. Woo, why do you need to pour alcohol? You didn't say alcohol was used for disinfection before. Yu Ying has doubts again. This is also to allow the fragrance to evaporate better, so that the fragrance of the rose can be directly integrated into the alcohol, Subai said while operating. So that's it. Yu Ying nodded as if she understood, her pink eyes kept looking at the operation. Because she just said that she could make her own perfume, she had to record this operation. Subai poured the alcohol into the after putting the rose petals inside, he began to cover the bottle and shake it to ensure that the alcohol and rose petals were perfectly integrated. After completing this operation, he took out a small piece of linen and placed it on the outlet of the bottle. Then he took out another bottle and poured the shaken rose petal alcohol water through the linen into another bottle. Woo, what is this step for? Yu Ying looked at it carefully. This will filter out excess impurities from the rose petals, so that the perfume that comes out will be relatively pure. After Subai finished speaking, he completed the step, took the bottle and continued in this way, a bottle of perfume is ready. Yu Ying's pink eyes widened and she said in shock, Woo, is making perfume so easy? Of course, this is just a simple perfume and it is not difficult. When conditions permit, you can make more advanced perfumes in the future. Subai nodded and said. This is the method used by ancient people to make perfume. It is not difficult and almost everyone can make it. But the only disadvantage is that the shelf life is too short and can only be stored for about a month. Unlike the perfumes made on the earth, after many processes can be stored for several years. But in the primitive era, it was already very good to be able to make a perfume with a shelf life of 1 month. After all, not everyone in the primitive era had alcohol. Yes. Subai can make perfume only by relying on the large bottle of alcohol dispensed by the system. That being the case, I learned. Yu Ying shook her pink foxtail. Such a simple production process was not difficult for her. Woo, how long does it take to use this perfume? Yanhua put her eyes close to the bottle and looked at it carefully. The bottle was either a transparent bottle or a small porcelain product. Leave it for a while until the fragrance is completely released and then use it, Subai said. In fact, he was not very sure whether this method could be successfully produced. He had only seen it in books and videos. He had not practiced it himself, so he could only see the results. I know, then I'm going to start making perfume too. Yanhua was so excited that she stood on tiptoe. Okay, you can choose the flowers you like and start making them. If you don't understand, please ask me, Subai said. Yes, I want to choose this red rose, which is the same color as my eyes. Yanhua took the rose in one fell swoop. I also like roses, so I will also make rose perfume. Yu Ying also picked up 2 roses. Shalan just picked up a handful of lavender and said, this smell is quite special. I like it very much. Be careful with the alcohol when handling, Subai warned. Yes, the girls said in unison. 4th update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 545. Chapter 545, Things that can make your skin better. One more request for customization. Yanhua looked at the bottles and jars on the table, her red eyes wide open, her face full of curiosity. She took out the bottle she made, shook it, and asked, Woo, what does this perfume smell like? The horn girl had already begun to think about the smell of the perfume, thinking it should be more than just roses. It just has a light rose scent, which is not very strong but smells nice, Subai explained. The perfume made by this method will not have much fragrance, but it will not be said to be completely odorless, but the smell will be slightly lighter. It turns out that if you could smell roses on your body, it would definitely smell good, Yanhua said with determination. Ox-eared girl is also a girl. Girls naturally like this kind of scented and good-looking things. So every time she doesn't train, she will follow fox-eared girl. Get into the wooden shed. Then you are surrounded by those flowers, feeling the bright colors and their graceful fragrance in winter. Sometimes after taking it for a long time, when you return to Yongan building, you will also smell a little bit of the fragrance of roses. She still liked the scent and thought it smelled good, but it dissipated quickly, but it was a pity a few times. But she didn't expect that roses can be made into perfume now. It's really incredible. After a while, you will be able to experience the perfume made by yourself. As long as it seems to be made successfully, you will definitely like the smell. Subai smiled and said. Woo, let's make more. If we succeed, we can get other tribes to exchange for good things. Yanhua suggested. Nyojiao Niang thought that she must make more good things, and she also picked a lot of flowers. Okay, you can continue making it, the steps you just did are correct, Subai said softly. The current method of making perfume is relatively simple. When conditions permit, he will ask the blonde girl to make more troublesome perfumes. Those perfumes with troublesome steps will last longer and the fragrance will be longer. More concentrated. The troublesome step of making perfume requires distillation or extraction, which also takes more time. Yes, but are there other ways for witches to make perfume? Yu Ying asked curiously. Because the fox-eared lady seemed to be very dissatisfied when she saw Wu's expression, she thought that there should be other ways. Of course there are, but those methods are more troublesome and take a longer time, so just leave it to Coco, Subai said lightly. So that's it, so I'll make more of this, Yu Ying nodded and said, picking up the yellow flower and picking off the petals. More than half an hour later, dozens of bottles of perfume appeared on the table. Each bottle was small, only as high as an adult's index finger. The width is only about 3 fingers wide. This is Sudbai's intention to be like this, because these perfumes want to create the appearance of a small quantity, so the containers are not very big, and the perfume inside is relatively small. After all, things are so good. Rare means expensive. Those people know that there are not many of these perfumes and will rush to buy them. If everyone knows that this perfume is everywhere, then there is no need for them to rush to buy it. Moreover, the value of this perfume will not be high by then, and it can be exchanged for it. Not much stuff. Woo, these are all made, where should they be placed? Yu Ying asked curiously. Find a cool place to put it. Don't put it in a place exposed to the sun or close to a fire, Subai warned. After all, most of the main ingredients in these perfumes are alcohol, which will burn if placed near an open flame. Yes, Yu Ying took a tray and put all the bottles and cans on it. Woo, besides making perfume, what else can we do? Yanhua's curiosity has not stopped yet. After all, in this slowly snowy time, she must be looking for something to kill time. Subai glanced at the roses and said, since there are so many flowers left, then I will teach you how to make a facial mask. There are also many beauty lovers on the earth who use flower petals to make facial masks. This method is natural and more economical, and there are no other additives in it. Woo, what is a facial mask? Yanhua heard another new word. Facial mask is something that can make your skin better and whiter, Subai explained simply and crudely. Of course, things like facial masks have only a minimal effect. They are not a panacea, so we can only see a little improvement. But this is better than nothing, so the Earth's people around here are still very happy with things like facial masks. There is such a good thing? Which, I wanted. Yanhua didn't want to hide her desire at all. No girl doesn't want to be beautiful, even if she has a carefree personality. Ha ha ha, that one is made with these flowers. Subai smiled heartily and continued, you should pick out these petals, soak them in warm water, and use them to make a facial mask after 2 hours. The method he mentioned is also used by many people on the earth, and it is also a very simple method. Yes, Yanhua and others nodded immediately. Although the cat-eared girl remained silent, she also longed to become beautiful in her heart. They put all the petals in a wooden basin, and then poured a lot of warm water into the basin. But since it is now a period of heavy ice and snow, the warm water will quickly become cold, so I keep pouring hot water into the basin to ensure that the water temperature is always warm. Just like this, while waiting anxiously, for 2 hours after passing by, they took out all the petals from the wooden basin. Woo, what should I do next? Yanhua asked, holding a handful of petals, wishing she could put them on her face right now. Just put them in a small bowl and mash them up, Subai ordered. Is it that simple? Yanhua thought it would be so complicated. Just mash it up, apply it on your face, and wash it off after a while, Subai nodded and said. This method is the same as putting cucumber and fruit slices on the face on the earth. It probably just has a psychological effect, but the effect of mashed flower petals will be better than that of cucumber. Fruit slices are better, and you can still see effects after long-term use. Yes, Yanhua and others responded without hesitation. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 546. Chapter 546, Heating. 2 more, please customize. 20 minutes later, everyone's faces were covered with a thin layer of crushed petals, and they all sat on stools, looking up at the ceiling. Woo, how long does it take for us to wash our faces? Yanhua asked in a murmur. Her tone was very confused, probably because her face was covered with petals. It'll be ready in 10 minutes. I'll call you when it's ready to wash, Subai said. Good, the girls answered in vague voices again. Subai walked to the side and sat down, took out paper and pen and continued to arrange what to do next. A different idea suddenly came to his mind, so he wanted to present this idea quickly. Swish swish. The quill collided with the paper and made a constant rustling sound, which was particularly loud in the quiet snowy day. Yanhua glanced sideways and asked doubtfully, what are you doing? Do you need our help? Because Niojiao Niang had nothing to do, her ears were very good at hearing, and she also heard those rustling sounds. Please concentrate on applying the mask first. I will call you later if I need your help, Subai said softly. He really couldn't do anything with Niojiao Niang. She was so active that she couldn't stop at any time. Good. Yanhua twisted her stiff neck and returned to the original position, not daring to move too much for fear that the mask on her face would fall off. Subai raised his head and glanced at the girls, then lowered his head and continued writing his thoughts. He looked at the piece of paper, murmured to itself, first of all, we need to change the temperature inside, otherwise it will be too cold. Although Yong'an building is a cement house, which can isolate the cold wind outside, the temperature outside is about the same as the temperature inside. At most, the lit fire pit will give people a slightly warm feeling, but it is just scratching the surface. The pattern drawn on the paper is the appearance of Yong'an building, as well as the internal structure diagram inside, followed by some relatively dim lines, all of which are distributed on the walls inside Yong'an building. In fact, these dim lines are from the pipes, but it's not very obvious when drawing. The thickness of these pipes is not very large, probably about the size of a wrist, but they are evenly distributed, and are found in all rooms, large and small, from the first floor to the fourth floor. Also, this pipe is not only found in the room, but also in the living room and kitchen outside, and even in Coco's laboratory. These faint lines all enter from the corner of the room, and then continue along the bottom of the wall, and finally connected to a black blind. Then it goes through to the next room, and is connected to the longitudinal pipe at the end. There will be a row of wooden guardrails on the edge of the pipe to isolate it. Someone will encounter these pipes. All of these pipes finally converge into the open space behind Yong'an building. There is also a separate house drawn on the open space. This house is next to the water storage tank of the water heater, and the end of the pipes is all they are all in that house. Then there is an oversized box in this house. The lower part of it has nothing and is completely hollow. There is a huge smoke outlet on the top, which is similar to the house on the other side of the earth. The chimney is very similar. Secondly, there are many pipes connected to the box, and these pipes are connected to the water storage tank, which seems to allow the water to continuously enter this large box. After washing, the Yanhua face came over, saw a picture and wondered, Wu, why did you draw Yong'an Tower? The Niojiao Niang couldn't wait any longer. She ran to wash her face before waiting for 15 or 20 minutes, and then came over quietly. Come and guess, Yu Ying guessed it once before, this time it's your turn, Subai said softly. He had been preparing for this drawing for several days, and had already asked people to make the necessary materials in advance. As long as he completed the drawing completely and understood some of the principles, the plan would be ready. It's time to start implementing it. Yanhua has completely brought her eyes over and is looking at it very seriously. She is holding the paper and looking at the ceiling. She frowned, shook her head and said, Wu, I don't know anything, I can't guess, what is this going to do? Yu Ying just finished washing her face and came over. After taking the drawing, she began to browse it. She also looked at it carefully for a long time and guessed which. Why does this look so similar to the one taking a bath? This is similar to the principle of taking a bath, but it's not really about taking a bath, Subai said softly. He has probably been thinking about this design for a long time. He has thought of this since the ice and snow first arrived and it was very cold. But since there are very few available things, he has to prepare to collect materials and study the principles. It wastes a lot of time. Wu, I can't guess it either. Yu Ying shook her head in despair. Even if she thought about it, she couldn't figure out what these things were, because it couldn't be something for bathing, and the whole thing was different. This can be of great use in times of heavy ice and snow, as it can warm the entire room, Subai explained simply. Yanhua opened her red eyes in disbelief and said in shock, Wu, can this make the whole room warmer? Do you want all the hot water to run in? Yu Ying asked innocently. Ha 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 ha, don't let all the hot water run in, Subai said cheerfully and explained, this is to let the hot water boil in the boiler in this small house, and the very hot water vapor will enter the room along the pipes. Subai took a cup of hot water and took a sip, and continued to explain finally, we will use this small radiator to increase the temperature in the room. As long as we close the doors and windows of the room, the entire Yong'an building will become warmer. Stand up. He explained while pointing to the patterns on the drawing and explaining to the girls the purpose of each pattern. It turns out that this is the case, but we can also use fire sugar to increase the temperature of the room, Yanhua said puzzled. Because she thought that the fire pit burning in the middle could also increase the temperature. Why do we have to do such a troublesome thing? If you use a fire pit, you need to use wood, and when the wood is burned, it will produce charcoal, and then burning the charcoal will produce carbon monoxide, and this carbon monoxide is poisonous, which will threaten our life safety, Subai explained seriously. Carbon monoxide? Poisoned. Although Yanhua had never heard of carbon monoxide, she knew that poisoning was a trivial matter and said in surprise, then it seems that this is very unsafe. Second update, please support and customize. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 547. Chapter 547, there is the most important problem to overcome. 3 more please customize. Well, this is something to pay attention to, Subai said seriously. There are many people on the other side of the earth who died due to carbon monoxide poisoning. So this is more dangerous, which is why he wants to create heating. There is not much other than using fire pits for heating. In addition to its usefulness, the second issue is safety. He doesn't want the entire Yong'an building to die from poisoning, or else it will be bad if the sparks in the fire pit jump out and catch fire. And what he thinks of using a boiler to generate heating is not a very difficult thing. On the other side of the earth, it is the same as boiling water at home. It's just that the water vapor of the boiled water is emitted casually, and the principle of heating is to transport all the water vapor to inside the room to achieve the heating effect. The device Subai painted is to diffuse the heat energy into the room through those pipes, and then transport the warm air out through the louvered radiator. The heat energy carrier Subai chose is water vapor, that's because its upper temperature limit is higher. The most important thing is to facilitate recycling. In the primitive era, things that could be recycled were the king, because the conditions here are not as good as those on the earth, and you don't have to worry about many things. Anyway, as long as the boiler in the small house is always burning, and the steam pressure generated will make every tiny high-temperature water droplet fill all parts of the pipe, which can continuously provide heating. This is the most important thing. Of course, water vapor heating is not without its shortcomings. The shortcomings are the welding between pipes, or the durability of the pipes. If there is a problem with any of these 2 points, the pressure generated by the high temperature will cause the pipes to explode. You must know that pipe explosions, it's no joke. As long as those ultra-high temperature water vapor touches the skin, your skin will split instantly, and the pain will be no less than an arrow piercing the flesh wall. Woo, according to what you said, you need to heat water and then have water vapor to keep warm. But this weather will make all those people freeze. It would be a waste of firewood to keep burning. Yanhua said doubtfully. This problem has been solved. It will be better to use kerosene nuts to burn it. During the whole snow and ice period, not many kerosene nuts will be used, Subai said. By then, the heating system will be able to operate together with the water heater system. Anyway, the materials needed are the same. Yes, there is this good thing, Wu, but how do we get the boiling water vapor into the room? Yanhua asked curiously. Although the combustion problem was solved, she saw that the boilers on the drawing were all outside Yong'an building. If the water vapor produced by combustion was then, wouldn't all the water vapor be outside Yong'an building? In such a room, how come it's still warm? This is something that the horned lady can't figure out. You see these lines? Without these lines, there are pipes. The water vapor generated will enter the room along these pipes, Subai explained. Woo, what materials are these pipes made of? Still using cement, Yanhua looked at the drawing carefully. She didn't know what material was best to use. She thought of many materials, but none of them was suitable. This is a problem that needs to be overcome. We don't have any ores now. If there are copper mines, these pipes can be made of copper, Subai said. When he was thinking about building a heating system, he also considered the problem of pipelines. This is currently the most difficult problem to overcome. At present, the Yanlong tribe does not have many copper mines, only a few, but those were simply not enough to make pipes. He thought of many kinds of materials but was rejected by himself, because there were many kinds of materials that could not be made. Those materials were either easy to break or could not completely transport water vapor into the room. In short, nothing is suitable. Copper mine? Woo, is this copper ore the same thing as iron ore? Yanhua heard another new word. They are all similar things, there is not much difference in essence, they all belong to the same type of ore, Subai explained. He also thought that if these ores were available now, making weapons and making these pipelines would not be a problem. Woo, Let us look for these ores, maybe we can find them. Yanhua suddenly became serious. Well, that's what I think too. Let's set out to find those ores tomorrow. Subai also became serious. He thought that instead of just dreaming here, he might as well take action and look for it, and maybe he could find something. Wu, let me set out tomorrow, and I will definitely find these ores for you. Yanhua's red eyes are full of seriousness. Don't worry about it now. I'll make some plans tonight and I'll arrange the personnel tomorrow, Subai said in a deep voice. You can't be careless when there is heavy ice and snow. Everything must be carefully planned. Yes, I understand, Yanhua said as if she didn't understand. Shalan on the side had been thinking seriously. Looking at the drawing, he suddenly wondered which, if the water in this boiler boils very hard, will something happen? Problem. The cat-eared girl has seen boiling water before, because the fire was very strong at that time, and the boiling water kept splashing out. The water-burning stove almost exploded at that time, and she still remembers the terrifying scene. So when she saw this drawing, this idea suddenly came to her mind. I have also taken your concerns into consideration. Subai didn't expect that the cat-eared lady would think about this, and continued to explain, I won't let this happen. Wu, then this situation is really possible, right? Shalan was a little shocked. She didn't expect that her worries were true. Well, at that time, I had someone create an automatic pressure reduction method. When the pressure in the furnace is too high, a high-speed rotating flywheel will open the valve, so that the pressure can be relieved. Bai took a sip of water and continued to explain, when there is no pressure in the boiler, there will be no explosion. He had thought of this from the beginning, because the problem of pressure must be a pressure-reducing device. After that, I was still worried about the same incident as the last boiling water incident. Shalan said happily. But the cat-eared girl also knew that she was worried in vain, because she had already thought about this kind of problem. How could the witch not think of it? I have to plan the ore search now, so you can go ahead and do your work, Subai said. Yes, the girls said in unison. Third update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 548. Chapter 548, Candidates for Mining. For more, please customize. Subai put down the drawing of the heater and took out another blank piece of painazetum paper, preparing to plan the ore hunt. This is a very serious matter, so we must take it seriously and there is no room for sloppiness. Looking for ores in heavy ice and snow is very different from looking for ores in normal times, because the dangers of the two are not at the same level. If the danger of looking for ores in normal times is those ferocious beasts and wild beasts, then the danger of looking for ores during the snow and ice is not just those ferocious beasts and ferocious beasts, but there is another kind of danger. And this kind of danger is related to avalanches or some potential dangers. The degree of danger has been greatly increased, and the degree of loss of life is also the same. In addition to planning for these potential dangers, he also needs to plan the location and appearance of the ore. Because no one in the tribe knows the ore except himself, and no one knows where the ore can be found, and what does the ore look like on the outside. There should not be too many people setting off, and the tribe should not leave too many totem warriors at once. Some should be left to deal with emergencies, Subai murmured to himself. Then first write down some lists of people suitable for finding ores on paper, and then think about some plans. Originally, I wanted most of the people to go, but they couldn't leave at once. Too many people, because the safety of the tribe must be considered. The second thing is what the ore looks like, which most people don't know, Subai thought to himself. He was also trying hard to recall what the ore looked like, such as what kind of copper ore and what iron ore looked like. He was glad that he had read relevant books before, otherwise he would definitely blind again. There are many types of iron ore that can be used to make weapons, Subai was thinking in his mind while copying it on the painazetum paper. After all, a good memory is not as good as a bad pen. If you write it down first, you don't have to worry about making mistakes. The same goes for the types of copper mines, and there are many with different appearances. The quill in Sudbai's hand still didn't stop. Swish swish. The sound of copying kept ringing, and the girls didn't dare to disturb them, so they all stayed aside quietly. Next is the distribution of iron ore and copper mines. Most of the iron ores are distributed in forests, so it shouldn't be difficult to find them. The more difficult thing is probably the copper mines. Sudbai frowned and fell into thinking. This matter is not a simple matter. Suddenly, he had a flash of inspiration, as if he thought of something again. Sudbai immediately got up and walked into his room, flipping through 2 pages. A big box was used to move all the ores out. He placed several pieces of ore on the table and began to look at them carefully, and said excitedly, "Isn't this a sample of ready-made iron ore and copper ore?" Sudbai was a little ecstatic now, because after thinking about how to describe the appearance of the iron ore and copper mine, he thought that the old witch seemed to have left these things for him. But since the quantity was not large, and I didn't need to use these things at that time, so I just put them aside and forgot about them for a while. Since the old witch has these things, there must be these ores near the tribe. Sudbai was so excited that he murmured to himself, "As long as you can see such a thing in this era, it means that such a thing is real. Woo, are these iron ore and copper ores?" Yanhua couldn't hold back her curiosity and came over. She always looked in the direction of Wu, from writing to entering the room to get ore. "Well, these are copper ore and iron ore. I asked you before, but you don't know where this comes from." Sudbai nodded. When he saw these things before, he knew that they would definitely be used in the future. So he immediately asked the girls where these things came from, but they didn't know. Even the old witch has always had this kind of thing without even knowing it. We didn't know that at that time. We didn't even meet Wu very often. Sometimes it would take us more than 10 days to see him from afar. Yanhua shook her head and said, "The relationship with witches now is very different from the relationship with witches at that time. At that time, they did not dare to approach witches. They felt that witches' dignity should not be offended, and they were people they could not touch at all. Every time, the first time they saw witches performing rituals in the tribe, they all felt it was very magical. The way they got along with the witches back then was completely different from how they feel with the witches now. Now they can be said to be in harmony with the witches, which they had never experienced before. Unimaginable. Does the chief know?" "It would be easier if the chief knew." Sudbai asked. Yanhua thought carefully and said, "Although my father often meets with witches, I'm not sure whether he knows this. Take it back and show it to the chief and ask him if he knows. If he knows, it will save us a lot of trouble," Sudbai said. Yanhua immediately took the pieces of ore and said seriously, "Yes, I will take them back later." "Well, if he knows, let him come to me, and then I will arrange the personnel to dig the ore," Sudbai said. "Clear." Yanhua held the ore tightly and continued to ask Wu, "Shall we dig the ore together? The horned lady really likes to do this kind of thing. Whenever there is such an adventurous thing, she wants to take part in it. If the chief knows the exact location or where the ore comes from, you can follow him, but if he doesn't know, you can't follow him because searching for ore is a very dangerous thing," Sudbai said word by word. "All right, I see." Yanhua thought carefully and nodded. She is not a willful person, and she also knows that she must respect the witch's arrangements. Although the witch did not blame them for anything, she must do her best. She cannot be punished by the witch because she cares about her, and then just ignores everything. This will also cause people in the tribe to talk about it. She doesn't want her to get caught up in rumors. Go quickly, and come back." Sudbai waved his hand and said. Yes. Yanhua hugged the oars and wore a thick cloak and left Yong'an building directly. Tap tap tap. Shalan looked at the direction in which Niojiao Niang was leaving, and said gently, "Which, we will definitely find these ores." Kat Niang knew the importance of ores, because many things have been delayed because of this ore. Relax, sometimes the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. We will always find a way, right? Subai said calmly. Wu was right. Shalin's eyebrows smiled like a crescent moon. Fourth update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 549. Chapter 549, Fanatic Fans. One more, please customize. In the early morning of the next day, rays of sunlight refracted through the clouds and reflected on the snow. The original white snow was illuminated by the sunlight, reflecting the sparkling colors. It's like the white snow is coated with a layer of golden fragments. It's covered in a large area, which looks pretty good. Subai opened his black eyes early in the morning, and directly summoned the system to sign in and open the aid package. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully signing in. Ding! Congratulations to the host for receiving primary aid, 5 goggles. It's actually possible to prescribe such a thing, but it's not very useful, Subai murmured to himself. Because he thought that these goggles were not used for flying combat aircraft, or for driving some very high-speed motorcycles. There was no need for these goggles at all. Wrong. When Subai just thought of those, he thought of something else, and continued, maybe some people haven't used it. He put away the goggles with a smile, got up and prepared his clothes, preparing to give these goggles to those who needed them, and also make arrangements for today's departure. Yes, he arranged the personnel to go out to mine today last night. Be sure to get these ores in a short time. Tap tap tap. Crunch. Subai changed clothes, opened the door and walked to the living room, and found that breakfast had been prepared on the table. The witchcraft is just right, I've done it all. Yu Ying just took off her apron. Subai taught her how to sew this apron, which is made from several pieces of animal skin sewn together. Although it is not as fancy as the aprons on the other side of the earth, it is better when cooking. It can also prevent your linen clothes from getting dirty when eating. Okay, is everyone here? Subai sat down and asked. After he finished the lists yesterday, he gave them to Fox Ears and asked her to notify these people to gather at Yong'an building early the next morning. Already informed, the chief came with his people early in the morning to gather on the first floor. They had just arrived, Yu Ying said immediately. In this case, let's eat quickly and then go down. Subai picked up a bowl of wheat porridge and started to drink it. Since the weather outside was very cold, and the wheat porridge had been cooked for a while, it was no longer very hot but a little warm. Tap tap tap. Subai quickly finished the wheat porridge and went downstairs. As soon as he came down the stairs, he saw many people standing in line. Wu, good morning. Yan Jiao and others took the lead in greeting. Subai taught them this greeting, otherwise he would think it was a bit strange that the people in the tribe would smile or call each other's name every morning when they meet. Although he knows that everyone is not mentally disturbed, but I still want to teach them how to say hello, so that they will appear more harmonious. So now people in the tribe will say hello no matter whether they meet in the morning, afternoon, or evening, that is, good morning, good afternoon or good night on the other side of the earth. Well, morning. Have you brought all the things I asked you to bring last night? Subai nodded slightly. After confirming the list last night, he also asked that person to prepare the things he would bring this time. After all, he was going out to mine rather than go out for fun, so there were still a lot of things to prepare. In addition, now is the period of heavy ice and snow, so there are even more things to prepare. Yes, we have brought everything. We have brought hoes, shovels, stone hammers and some small tools according to your instructions. Each of us has brought a copy of these. Yan Jiao took the lead and said. After he received the order last night, Yahuo urgently gathered the people and asked them to go back and prepare things after they announced the order. In addition to tools, are you ready with all the weapons? Going out this time is not as simple as hunting, Sudbai asked seriously. His expression and tone today were much more serious than usual, because this time it was really a serious matter. We couldn't be too careless. We had to make these people become serious too. Everything is ready. The totem warriors have brought crocodile knives, recurve bows, life-saving witch dominoes and some healing herbs. Yan Jiao is also very serious. He also understands that this time it is not as simple as going out to hunt before. No tribe has ever left the tribe during the big ice and snow, so he is more worried and takes it seriously. Herbs are not available in the big ice and snow. It was already made when it arrived. When it was made, it was clearly stated that the warriors must carry these herbs when they leave the tribe in the future. Not only must they carry witch dominoes, these herbs are sometimes life-saving things. And the production method is much simpler than the witch dominoes. The most important thing is the hospital established by the Yanlong tribe. Although there are only a few 5 or 6 people in it, most of the medicines are just herbal medicines. But it is still good. It's the beginning, isn't it? After all, it will gradually get better in the future. What's more, the current hospitals only have herbal medicine, but there are still a lot of people going to see the doctor. Because many people have just minor illnesses and pains, and these minor illnesses are minor. There was no need to use witch dominoes because of the pain, so everyone went to the hospital. Have you checked everything clearly? Everyone must have these, and there can be no omissions, Sudbai asked seriously. Everyone has it, and they have checked it 3 times to make sure there are no omissions. Yan Jiao nodded and said. These things were checked once last night, and then twice during the gathering today. After all, these things are life-saving things for them, and they do not dare to neglect them. Okay, as I told you yesterday, go to a cave, forest, or riverside. You can make these ores with high efficiency, especially in caves. You already have the samples in your hands. Just bring me all the similar ones. Sudbai raised his voice. He told everyone last night where these ores might appear, and he also described the appearance and texture of these ores very accurately. Yes, you will not be disappointed. Yan Jiao took the lead and shouted loudly. Now he has become a fan of Sudbai. Although the other party is much younger than him, only 1 or 2 years older than his daughter, he appreciates the other party's ability very much, whether it is the style of doing things, the efficiency of doing things, and some other things. People have to admire him. Although he does not have to go out to the tribe this time, he still has to lead other warriors to speak. I won't hold too complicated ceremonies on this trip, Sudbai said lightly. He took the wooden bowl filled with red paint and started painting on Kenshi's face first, and then passed it on. Please update for support and customization. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 550. Chapter 550, Avalanche. 2 more please customize. Kangxi left the Yanlong tribe with a dozen people and walked towards the forest. Since it had snowed for several days, the snow outside the tribe was very thick, and it would reach up to the knees when one stepped on it. This is only a short distance away from the tribe. The snow will definitely be deeper in the forest. Everyone tied their tools behind their backs and put their food in bags and carried their animal skin bags across their bodies. They kept walking towards the forest in the wind and snow, but it was okay now. The wind and snow were not very heavy, just light snow. You all should follow closely and don't get separated, Kangxi warned seriously from the front. After all, it's a heavy snowstorm now, which is completely different from usual. If you're not careful, your life could easily be in danger. Got it, boss. A dozen people behind him nodded at the same time. 2/3 of the people traveling this time were totem warriors, and there were not many reserve warriors. Because this mission is very dangerous, ordinary reserve warriors cannot going out. The preparatory soldiers who followed this trip are still in good physical condition and strength in all aspects. Big boss, let's go directly to the cave. Wu said that it is more important. Maybe the place we want will be there, De Gua suggested straightforwardly. What he was thinking was that he didn't want to waste too much time. Instead of searching in one place after another, it would be better to go directly to the key places. I also think that if there is no cave, we can look for it elsewhere, which will not waste too much time. Mai Mang also thinks this method is good. The main reason is that he is very fat and cannot travel long distances for too long. What's more, the snow is so thick now, so he wants to enter the cave quickly. Okay, let's look for it in the cave, maybe we can find it. Kang Shi encouraged everyone. He was determined to die this time, thinking that he would find ore for Wu no matter what. After all, ore is very useful to the tribe. Because the tribe is developing very well now, if he can make the tribe develop better, then he is willing to sacrifice his life just to make the tribe better. They originally wanted to set off in a hot air balloon this time, but Subai refused. If they wanted to set off in a hot air balloon, then the chance of death is 100%, because it is snowing outside now, and no one knows whether the snow will be heavy or light in the next second. Even a small snowstorm will affect the direction of the hot air balloon, and even cause the hot air balloon to move. If the balloon is going to die, let alone the heavy snowstorm, it will be impossible to fly. Even if you fly, you will only fall heavily from a high place. The lucky ones can still save half of their lives, otherwise it will be the whole life. Everyone in the hot air balloon will be buried together. Tap tap tap. A pair of thick feet stepped on the thick snow and headed towards the cave in the distance. Fortunately, Air and the others also discovered several caves when they were exploring the road before, so it is a good thing to have a goal to move forward, otherwise aimless advancement will only lead to destruction. So this time, among the preparatory warriors accompanying him were Air and Changshi, because they needed to use their wings. After all, you can fly up in advance to explore the road ahead, so that you can avoid danger and find a resting place in advance. And they were the ones who found the cave before, so they still need to lead the way this time. Puchi, Puchi. Air adjusted the goggles and continued flying forward, saying thankfully, fortunately, the wind and snow are not heavy today. The goggles on Butterfly Girl's face were given by Subai, thinking that they were all flying in the sky. And the flying speed is also very fast. What's more, it's the period of heavy ice and snow. The sky has been blowing and snowing. It would be difficult to open their eyes if they were flying in the sky, so they were given goggles. Yes, thanks to the goggles given by the witch, otherwise we wouldn't be able to see the road clearly. Chinchi adjusted his goggles excitedly. The Swift Boy still liked these goggles very much. When he received them, he was very happy. Not only when there is heavy ice and snow, sometimes he flies in the sky very fast. It would be a little hard to open my eyes even when I was flying. At that time, I always thought that it would be great if I could open my eyes when I was flying fast in the sky. But I have never been able to do it, but now when I get the goggles, my whole body they were all so happy that they were jumping up and down. Yes, and I really like the color. Air has been fluttering her purple butterfly wings. The goggles assigned to Butterfly Girl are also purple, and they are exactly the same as her hair color, wings, and eyes. I love mine too and I must wear it every day. Chinchi's goggles are black and match him very well. The two chatted in the sky while adjusting the goggles, and kept flying in front. Kangxi and others also kept moving forward, as if they were below those thick snows are not an obstacle at all. Every one of them looks very determined now, and they have only one goal in their hearts, which is to find ore for the tribe. Because they know that the witch will not let them take risks, since they will let them setting off during a period of heavy ice and snow means that this thing must be very important. In order for the tribe to develop better, they are willing to go out. In their hearts, they feel that this big ice and snow is nothing at all. Compared with the development of the tribe, it's like a small witch can't help but a big witch. Nothing matters now. The most important thing is to put development first. They all have a vine on their bodies. That vine is very strong and connects everyone together. This is why Sudbai's method, after all, an avalanche is likely to occur when fighting ice and snow. It would be bad if the avalanche happened and everyone was washed away, so he came up with this method. The vines cannot be easily untied without my consent, Ken, she warned him tirelessly. As the leader of this trip, he has the responsibility to ensure the safety of these dozen people. Because he promised Sudbai, as many people as there were when traveling, they will be the same when they return. How many people? Big boss, we arrived in just half a day. While the wind and snow are not very heavy yet, let's hurry up, Chinchi said as he slowly flew down at a lower flight angle. Good. Kenshi lowered his head and shouted loudly, you have all heard it, so hurry up and hurry up. After he finished speaking, he immediately covered his mouth because he had forgotten the witch's instructions. He said he should not speak too loudly when entering the forest, otherwise it would easily cause an avalanche. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 551. Chapter 551, A Different Mission. 3 more, please customize. After Sudbai watched everyone leave, he took out the paper and continued drawing, preparing to draw some other things. He still wanted to make more different perfumes, but making different perfumes requires special utensils. But now the utensils in the tribe are only made of wood, stone, or ceramics. These are useless for making high-end perfumes. To make high-end perfume, you must use glassware, so what he is currently painting is the appearance of some glassware. Then let the people in the glass workshop make it. The glass workshop has recruited some more powerful people before and taught them how to make utensils. It is not an easy task to make cups or bowls out of glass, so those people are still learning and have been learning for a while. What they can make now is just a piece of glass, but now Dabingxu has not built a house, so the glass workshop does not produce a large amount of glass, but is starting to learn to make glassware. I don't know how well they are studying, but they should be able to master it, Sudbai murmured to himself. He demonstrated many times to the people he recruited. They just learned the steps and how to make it, but the final shape was still not ideal. Every utensil was crooked and twisted. They couldn't look directly at each other, so Sudbai didn't say anything and asked them to practice in time. After all, it is not an easy task to make a container with burned glass. It is already good to learn the steps. As long as you practice more, practice will make you perfect. It is only a matter of time to make qualified utensils. Xiao, take these to the people in the glass workshop and ask them to make a set of samples based on the patterns I drew for me to see, Sudbai ordered. After hearing the order, Yu Ying immediately put down the quill in her hand, walked over, took the piece of paper, nodded and said, yes, Wu. Fox-eared lady hasn't sewed linen clothes or animal skin clothes recently, so she spends her recent free time practicing writing and literacy. Tap tap tap. Yanhua looked at fox-eared girl's leaving figure and muttered, why don't you let me go mining? Horned girl stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window and watched the tribe members leave the tribe, and she continued to stand until no more shadows could be seen. For a long time. She really wanted to help the tribe, but she didn't expect that she was not selected for mining. So I kept standing at the window and watching. The expression on my face was extremely aggrieved, but I still couldn't go. Originally, I heard that the capable reserve warriors should go, but the strength of the Horn Girl is considered to be top-notch among the reserve warriors of the tribe, but she was still not selected. So besides being a little aggrieved at not being selected, she also questioned whether her abilities were not enough. Because you have other things to do, I still need to use you. Subai also saw the depressed look on the other party's face. Yanhua immediately became energetic after hearing this, and asked excitedly, Wu, is there anything you want me to do? I will definitely do it for you. Niojiao Niang is now energetic. She is more energetic than anyone else. Her two red eyes are as wide as bells. As long as there is something she can do, it will be fine. Anyway, she was not selected for poaching. There is nothing to do in the mine. I want you to follow the Green Vine tribe to other tribes, Subai ordered. At this time, it is time to promote the Yanlong tribe with the people of the Green Vine tribe. Many totem warriors have been sent out for mining. It is also for this reason that the Horn Girl is left. In addition to mining, besides danger, he didn't want Horn Girl to take risks. Secondly, there were other tasks for her to do. This number, Wu, I am willing to go, Yanhua said without hesitation. Apart from mining, I also like this task very much, because not only can I leave the tribe and wander around, but I can also see other tribes. What's more, I can go out to promote the good things of the Yanlong tribe. The Horn Lady, I would rather do this kind of thing. In this case, then you go with Shalan. I trust you too, and you will definitely be able to handle this matter, Subai said seriously. If there is anyone who knows the Yanlong tribe best and can more directly promote the goodness of the Yanlong tribe, there is no one else besides the Ox Horn Lady and the Cat-eared Lady. They have returned from the Yanlong tribe. I have always seen the good even when it was bad, and I can see all kinds of magical things, and I also know what to say and what not to say, so it is best for the two of them to do it. Wu, although I can go, what about your safety? Shalan said worriedly. The cat-eared girl is still worried about the safety of the witch. Although she will obey the orders unconditionally, she still worries. Don't worry about the heavy ice and snow. No one from other tribes will come out. What's more, I am very safe in the tribe. If you leave, there will be other totem warriors here, so I will be fine. Subai took a sip of warm water and continued, what's more, I have a lot of life-saving witchcraft, so you don't have to worry about me. It can be said that he has many skills now. In addition to danger warning, he also has a finger gun, which can completely protect his life from any threats. Since this is the case, then I can rest assured that I will definitely complete your task. Shalan became serious after the big stone in her heart fell. She actually wanted to go mining with her. Although she was a little disappointed that no one was going to follow her, she also liked this task. Nothing else, because this task can also help the development of the Yanlong tribe, so she will be obliged to perform this task. You go with you, Eruo, Hechuan, and Chifeng. There won't be too many people, so it's safer. Let's take the ice sledge and set off, Subai arranged. He originally thought of letting them take a hot air balloon ride. At that time, he did not think of the weather with heavy ice and snow. After thinking about it later, he asked the people of the Green Vine tribe. Finally, he learned about all those tribes. They are all close to the river, which is even better. You can completely take an ice sledge to get there, and the time can be shortened a lot. The most important life safety can be guaranteed. After all, riding a hot air balloon is too dangerous. Clear Yanhua is not afraid. Bring enough food, enough clothing, and you must also bring weapons. Subai looked serious, took out the shield that the system had opened before, handed it over and said, this is for you, for self-defense. Yes, Yanhua took the shield with a look of surprise. Third update, please support and customize.